Hi, Raul. You are interviewing for the role of attorney at law. The first question is, tell me about an experience in which you analyzed information and evaluated results to choose the best solution to a problem.
So my current job is in finance, so I deal with a lot of payroll issues, and so I have to analyze every scenario as to why it failed to pay out. And as soon as I figure out the problem, then I have to figure out a solution to ensure to ensure the person gets paid in a decent amount of time.
Okay, thank you. Next question. What kind of experience do you have interpreting laws, rulings, and regulations for individuals and businesses?
So for the past 12 years, I've been in the military. Um, During my past about 4 years, I've actually had to deal with a lot of cases where I had to go to UCMJ trials for my soldiers and either ensure that they get punished for what they're doing or get them out of it. Um, in my current job, I have to read a lot of fiscal law regulations because my job, there's a bunch of different regulations and laws that dictate my job. So I spend probably half of my day researching regulations and laws.
Thank you.
Share an experience you had in dealing with difficult person and how you handled the situation.
Um, as I mentioned in my previous question, that I am in finance, and when someone is not getting paid, they unfortunately do not have the best attitude when they realize they're not getting a check. So I had to deal with a person who had some very colorful language over the phone, and had to ensure that things stayed professional. And I told him as to how it was going to get fixed, and it seemed that he was content with it. And I told him, I was like, moving forward, it's probably best we communicate through email as opposed to a phone call in the most professional way I could.
Thank you, Raul. This position requires the candidate to be organized. Tell me how you organize, plan, and prioritize your work.
Um, so there's a lot of things that I have to ensure that I prioritize. You look at when it comes to payroll, there's certain things that pay out, and there's some things that are more important than others. Someone's livelihood is more important than someone getting a bonus for an example. So I'm always going to prioritize someone's livelihood over some weekend money, and it's going to come down to uh, what how much I have during the day or how much time I need to meet the deadline for the next pay cycle.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, what are some long-range objectives that you developed in your last job? What did you do to achieve them?
So every year we do a training event, obviously in the Army. And so there's a long range training color that we must achieve. So there's certain objectives that we have to achieve before we can actually go out and train at the big event. So there's always a long range training calendar. I'm always planning a year out, and to meet my goals, I ensure that my subordinates have everything that they need, and I ensure that I get everything that I need from my superiors to meet those goals, and be able to do the training at the end of the year.
Okay. Name a time when your patience was tested. How did you keep your emotions in check?
Um, so there was a in the finance office, there was a individual with a very high rank who came in with some very colorful language, and talking at a voice that caused a scene. Um, I informed the person to go ahead and please step out and you know uh, calm down so we can have a conversation. Because I told him, because I can't talk to you if that's the way that you're gonna talk to me. So he went outside, had a moment to kind of calm down, came back inside, and we had a conversation. And during that time that he was outside, I was also trying to calm down as well. I was a little flustered myself. But I took control of the situation to ensure that there was a smooth outcome, because at the end of the day, I understand these soldiers are just upset you're not getting paid. So I try to take into consideration how they're feeling.
Okay, thank you. Share an example of a time you had to gather information from multiple sources. How did you determine which information was relevant?
So my position, there's different kinds of regulations that govern my job. Some of them are more for another branch of military as opposed to mine. So there's a bit of research that I must do through both these regulations, because one might actually override the other, and it takes a lot of time for me to to really go through and ensure that the regulations are correct.
Thank you. Please share an experience where you presented to a group. What was the situation and how did it go?
So the last time that I presented for a group, I was actually demobilizing a battalion. It was about 500 soldiers. So there was I had to show them a PowerPoint. I had to tell them the entire process of what they were doing and how we were going to do it, because obviously 500 soldiers had to go through a station. So I explained to them, what everything was, why we're doing it, and that way they can kind of see the bigger picture and see, and things will go a little smoothly. Hopefully they'll have a little more understanding. And it went pretty smooth. We were able to get through them all in about 3 days.
Provide an example of a time when you successfully organized and a diverse group of people to accomplish a task.
So I recently had to I had to do an assessment for it's called air assault. So I had a bunch of different backgrounds, different Army jobs, and I had to ensure that they all understood on what they need to do to complete the course. And so I was able to clearly communicate what needed to happen, show them exactly what they needed to do. And if they had any questions, obviously they can come and talk to me to ensure that they were able to complete what they need to complete. And so pretty much it came out to a 90% success rate, that 90% of them passed out of 250 soldiers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Raul.